Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. This time for the watch pile, we have May this time around. May was a rather tough month yet again. Lots going on in personal life and in my work life, which seems to be ramping up at the moment. So, not the best of month. Let's dive in and have a look at what I picked up this month. So, let's have a look at some martial arts titles, or Asian titles I picked up. Not always Blu-rays here. I have got Laser Mission on DVD, Brandon Lee movie, which I've never seen. Kind of feeling a Brandon Lee kick coming along, as you'll see. My friend Paige sent me Rapid Fire because we were talking a lot about Brandon Lee. There was a Legacy of Rage I was kind of trying to get a hold of. I couldn't, but 88 Films announced that, which was kind of cool. It saves me for that one, and I need to get Showdown in Little Tokyo at some point as well. I'm sure there'll be a good release that coming soon. I picked up the Inspector Wears Skirts 3, which is supposedly the worst in the series. Kind of liked it, wasn't great. And I have got Inspector Wears Skirts 4 still to watch. I had a discount code for my birthday from 88 Films and a couple of points, so I used that to pick up those titles. Kind of like holding off on watching Inspector Wears Skirts 4 because I don't really want to get to the end of that series because I've been kind of enjoying it. Radiance titles, so I picked up L'amour Sot, Mad Love, which is a 4-hour, 15-minute exploration of a disillusionment of a marriage as the couple, a director and the star of the show, kind of part ways as they're working on this play. What to say about that one? There's a review coming soon. Planet of the Vampires, which has now sold out, which is incredibly fast for Radiance, which is a real surprise. But I mean, it's Bava. It's a package that is wonderful. There's a great documentary on the disc. You get the Super 8 version. I did a review for it. Yeah, hopefully you picked it up. If not, there may be another edition coming pretty soon. Also from Radiance, Shinobi Set. Wow, what a treat. I love this. I didn't realise it was basically, I mean, it is 3 independent movies, but they're all heavily linked, telling the one grandiose story of Ichikawa, a ninja who is wronged more than once and is looking for revenge at the end of this, which was a really great release. Let's jump into some 4K things I picked up. Impulse, FOMO, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I picked up the Cine Edition HMV releases of Mad Max, Mad Max the Road Warrior, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Now, these are really cool editions. They were on sale at a really decent price. I picked all 3 up, even though I am not a fan of Beyond Thunderdome. I will give it another watch. This could be the last ever watch I give it because I just don't like that film at all. Mad Max without cars. Yeah, like, why? Why indeed? Other 2, Road Warrior, fantastic. Mad Max with the toe cutter, great. Love it. Both happy to have them. Got Arrow's release of The Long Good Friday, which I've done a review for. Check it out if you haven't seen it. An amazing movie. Great going back to that one. My friend Paige sent me The Crow on 4K, which I have been waiting to see. Yeah, it feels like it's been built up for ages. I loved this movie in the 90s with the trailer release of the new one, which looked abhorrent. I am so excited to be going back to this one. It was a film I loved. Paige also sent me Piranha, the Joe Dante movies, which I absolutely adore as well. Watched that one almost immediately. It looks amazing. It's a fantastic film. One imprint release I got this month, it was a director box set. I love these. This is directed by John Farrell. Now, 5 movies and a documentary. I'm working my way through the documentary just now, which is great. The 5 films have been up and down. There's none that's been terrible. One which I really can't wait to talk about, the Hitler Gang. I won't go into too much about it. Watch the review for that when it comes. Yeah, just say no more. There's a lot to talk about in that film. And Botany Bay was terrific. Commander Shrek at Dawn was fine. Night of a Thousand Eyes was fine. Yeah, Submarine Commando was decent. The documentary, which I'm halfway through at the moment, is really good. I'm enjoying that because you're learning all about this guy that you just knew nothing about, which is the main reason I love these kind of releases. Andy sent me a couple of gifts for my birthday. The House That Screamed, which was a really great kind of Spanish giallo type movie, which right up my street. The Abashiri Prison films from Masters of Cinema, which I really enjoyed as well. 3 very different films charting the story of one man from being incarcerated to getting out to trying to make amends. I've still got the 3rd review of that to post, which will be coming soon, but yeah, another good movie. The Queen's Ransom, an Asian kind of international thriller, which is fine if you're a fan of these kind of movies. There's lots of familiar faces, lots of people I enjoyed seeing on screen, and just I had a good time with. Not a great release, but a kind of solid, decent watch. And the Valiant ones, which was phenomenally great. Loved this one. It was one of those ones where I put on and it just, everything else is blocked out. It immediately captured all of my attention and just put me on a fantastic thrill ride. Yeah, eager to go back and revisit that one. So that's everything that I picked up this month, with the exception of one more thing. A gift from Andy, who sent me this monstrous release I had no knowledge about whatsoever. I didn't know it was a thing. These were movies I wanted to pick up in 4K at one point, and this is a phenomenal edition. I absolutely adore it. It is the Universal 8 movie collection in 4K. That's all the movies that are included in here. It has all these kind of things, texts and essays, and at the back has got all the discs in 4K. It is one of those rare, amazing editions, which I love. I've loved these movies all my life. I was going to get the 4Ks at some point. Didn't even know this thing existed. Turned up my doorstep and I was just awed. A wonderful gift. Amazing. So that's everything I picked up this month. Let's dive into Letterboxd and see what I watched. So we started off the month with a couple of Radiance titles. Misunderstood, which was phenomenally good. And what really irked me about this, it was one of those reviews where, as a general standpoint, I don't really look at numbers. You know, sometimes a review does really well, which is surprising with Planet of the Vampires, and sometimes a review does just poor, like Misunderstood. And the thing about films like Misunderstood is it irks me because the film is genuinely great. And I want people to discover it. You know, I kind of wrote it off as something I wasn't interested in, watched it, loved it, wanted to recommend it. And it's one of those videos that got not a lot of views. I feel like people are missing out on a great film. The Shape of Night, which was another Radiance release from last month, was another terrific title. For my indicator sale, which I'm still working through, I think I'm about halfway now. The Night of the Following Day, Marlon Brando. It's a kind of kidnapping ransom movie. Told really well. I love the way it kind of just jumps straight into the kidnapping and then we learn about the characters a little bit throughout their actions. It's fine. It's about the best thing I can say about it. The Fall Guy, I went to the cinema to see this. I had a blast with this one. It is exactly what I expected. Silly, with lots of action, and it was fun. Sometimes you just want something like that, and that delivered 100% on that. I wish it had done better because I loved Blunt and Gosling together. I thought they had great charisma. The action was just non-stop and terrific and constantly reinventing itself throughout the film. It wasn't the same sequence one after another. I had a great time with it. Moon Garden, my friend Jeff sent me that for my birthday as well. That was such a real twisted, dark fairy tale horror film. So creative with its visuals. Yeah, really enjoyed that. The House That Screamed, spoke a little bit about that. I watched Baby Reindeer on Netflix because it was everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing somebody talk about it, and I loved that. That was one of the funniest shows I think I've ever seen. The dark humour in it was hilarious, and I think the MVP of the entire show was the main guy's father, who was just hilarious. Old School is one of those movies that I throw on when I'm feeling crappy, when I'm feeling run down, when I feel like I want to watch something but I don't want to pay attention. It needs to be a comfort watch, something that I can zone out for 10 minutes and I miss nothing. Old School is one of those movies I've seen many times. It's comforting. And I was feeling kind of run down at this point. I started the Inspector Wears Skirts series with the best in the series, the first one, which great action, great characters, whole lot of fun. And then I watched the Queen's Ransom, which I spoke a little bit about. The Inspector Wears Skirts Part 2, which definitely moved more into comedy, lost a lot of the action stars like Cynthia Rothrock, lost the action set pieces, and was just almost lesser in every way. Still fun, but just not compared to the original one. Another cinema trip, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I enjoyed, I had issues. It's a really good, enjoyable movie. If you want to switch off your brain and enjoy it, it's fine. It leaves a lot more questions at the end of it that seem a little bit ridiculous and break certain elements of the movie. It feels like it's tacked on to lead up to a sequel, which there will probably be, but I hate this. I look at films like I just watched the Shinobi movies, and Shinobi 1 ends. It's a film that ends, tells a tale, and then we move into the second story. It continues on from that, but I wasn't expecting that. It just, makes something that it is its own tale and then expand from it. I did love, however, the idea of the different kind of apes tribes, particularly ones at the start that were dealing with eagles, which I found to be fascinating. But it's not until the female character comes into the movie about half an hour in, and the orangutan comes into it, where I really started to pique my interest. I started to get drawn into the story, even though it gets a bit formulaic near the end, which was fine. The blockhouse was bleak, dark. You're at a prison camp at the end of World War II. A group of people are under attack. They run into a storage rooms and get bombed in, and they're trapped there. Plenty of food, plenty of water. There's 8 of them, I think it is, and they are going to be stuck there for a while. And it's just people disintegrating. Great film. Dark. Piranha 4K I watched, which I've seen many times before. I love that film. Abashiri Prison, which I gave 4 stars to initially, but thinking about it is going up. When I rewatch it, it will get a higher score than that. Raid on Royal Casino Marine is Inspector Wears Skirts 3, which was, okay, average. Walls of Abashiri Part 2 was not as good as the first one. Planet of the Vampires, which is a solid 3.5, maybe 4-star movie. It's not the greatest thing ever. I believe there's more in that. The more I go back to it, the more I'm wowed with what they've created with the budget, the ideas behind it. Some of the things in the documentary have elevated it again, talking about a kind of gothic science fiction movie, which I really kind of love that idea. So, yeah, I do like Planet of the Vampires. The Valiant Ones, 4.5 stars from me. Absolutely loved this thing. Couldn't recommend it enough. Prison Walls of Abashiri 3 was probably on par with the second one, although much more serious. Long Good Friday, standout movie of the month, I think. Absolutely amazing revisiting that one. Loved it. Shinobi 1, Band of Assassins. Good. Into the Clones of Bruce Lee, which I can't find my disc for that, it's lying about somewhere. I've sat it down. Severin's documentary on Bruceploitation. This was really fun. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's made me interested in checking out some of those movies. which I would never have considered before. The Blob remake from the 80s, I just love that film. It's fantastic. I do have a review of that coming pretty soon. L'Amour Fou was a marathon watch, and I get into that in the review, which I won't go into too much. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I love Fury Road. It is phenomenal, and I was somewhat interested in Furiosa. I was glad we were going back to the world of Mad Max. I just wish it was a continuation of a story. This is a prequel that doesn't have much to offer. I feel that everything about the characters we garnered in Fury Road, it's fun. It's got a wonderful over-the-top performance by Hemsworth, which I like. I like that kind of crazed, maniacal bad guy. Anya Taylor-Joy is fine as Furiosa. The action, when it's practical, is wonderful. When it moves into CG, it becomes not as wonderful. It's great going back into that world, but I just feel like it's an almost pointless story, because we ultimately know where things are going to sit at the end of this film while you're watching it. I would much rather see a continuation into this world, adventures that I don't know where they're going. Maybe we'll get another one. Shinobi no Mono 2 Vengeance, the second part, or Revenge as it's called. Great. And then Resurrection, the final part of it, great as well. All three films, fantastic. Like I said, highly recommend that set. And then I started on the Jon Favreau set with Commando Strike at Dawn, which is good. The Hitler Gang, which I kind of enjoyed, but I have got a lot to say about that one. It's such a weird setup. Watch out for my review. Night Has 1,000 Eyes, which I had got in the indicator sale, which I rewatched it here, which I really kind of enjoyed as well. That's everything I kind of went through. As for numbers, this month I watched 26 discs. With the Universal Classics, I'm in two minds about including that or not, because it's movies I've seen many times. Although they're new discs into the collection, I have seen these films many, many times before. If I don't include that, I get 27 films this month. Whoa. Yeah, one more than where it started. And I finished the month with, let's just see, here's my list here, which you guys can't see, but it is here. Yeah, 227 films. So I gained one overall. Not the end of the world. It was a poor month. I was hoping to do a little bit better, but hey, this month's not going to be great either. I know I've got about 3 weeks, and then I'm having a break of sorts for a couple of weeks, and yeah, so I kind of need to get into it. So let's have a look at what is coming out in June, see what there is to pick up. So there's nothing really at the start there. I've already got a Mad Max 4K Jon Favreau, which no brainer. So we've got some easy months, easy weeks there. The Lawnmower Man, I'm kind of curious about. Something I may get at some point. Mute Witness, I will pick up at some point. Like I said, because I feel this month is kind of tight, I may just give it a miss. Jon Favreau, but I'll pick it up maybe next month. But it's a film that I've been wanting to revisit for ages. I've got a Blu-ray of it somewhere. No, I've got a DVD of it somewhere. I've been waiting on a Blu-ray release, and getting it on 4K, great. It's one that I will get at some point. Let's see, further down, we've got from Eureka, the Valiant Red Pony trilogy, which I will definitely be picking up. There is the Flesh and Blood show, which I pre-ordered last year. This is a set that's been put back. So I will eventually get that. The Crow is getting a standard release on 4K. Gunjiam Haunted Asylum, which I'd never heard of before, but the reviews and the words I've been hearing from people contacting me telling me it's my kind of movie. I'm really looking forward to that. Ty West's The Sacrament, which is one I've been meaning to get to for a while and just never have. So I'll be interested in checking that out. And is there anything else? So we've got some interesting titles here, but ones I probably won't pick up immediately. Fist of Legend, I've heard great things about. With Nail and Eye is a classic. This is the time I'm kind of taking a break. Memories of Murder would be interesting to get in 4K. I've never seen Memories of Murder, so it's one I should get to at some point. American Pie, I still don't understand why it's getting a 4K release, and I'll probably hate buy it. When it's in a sale, way down the line. Island of Fire, you guys kind of told me to be wary of that one, so I will. The Holy Virgins versus the Evil Dead. Now, on title alone, I need to get that. Like, as a compulsion, I don't know why. I saw the trailer, it looks wacky. I need to see that. Then we've got some Radiance titles here. Sympathy for the Underdog and Bandits of Orgosolo, which are, interesting. We spoke about that in the announcement video. We have The Miracle Fighters from Eureka, which is another pickup. We have Absurd and Anthropophagus, which is out on 88 Films on 4K. Again, no essential titles. I've seen both. I kind of like them for what they are. They're not essential upgrades. Unless compulsion drives me to do so, I don't see me getting them at all. And that is it. So, looking like a fairly quiet month. Let's see what I'm definitely picking up. So, we'll run through it once more quickly just to see. So, the Valiant Red Pony collection, the Flesh and Blood show, Gunjium, Haunted Asylum, The Sacrament, Two Verses of a Volcano. I wanted to revisit that for a while, but no, that's not essential. No. And the Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead, which I'll probably get when I'm back. Sympathy for the Underdog and Bandits of Orgosolo. So it's a fairly kind of quietish month. I'm happy with that. That's not the end of the world here. I could do without a break because I still have my Vinegar Syndrome sale pile that just landed through the door on the 1st of May, which is Joan Fat dauntingly sitting at the side here. I may do a separate pickup video for that just to cover what I got there. Yeah, it'll be quiet this month. Hopefully we'll get through a bunch of titles, but I want to know, did you pick up anything? Is there anything of interest you've picked up recently that you want to just talk about? What do you think about any of the titles I've picked up? Is there anything you're interested in that I've got? Did you manage to get Planet of the Vampires before it sold out? And please tell me you picked up Shinobi. I need to know because that was a phenomenal title. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this video. My usual watch list for May. The one for June will be a good chunk into July, probably before that lands, just in case you're waiting for these videos. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com, always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.